I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving, so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all human beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving, so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all human beings. I go for refuge until I'm enlightened to the Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha. By my accumulations of practice of giving and so forth, may I become a Buddha to benefit all sentient beings. Sangye Joda Zoge Tane Gyapsu Che Dage Jinso Kebe Sonam Dola Benjire Sangye Dubara Sho Sangye Joda Zoge Chonam Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyapsu Che Dage Jinso Kebe Sonam Dola Benjire Sangye Dubara Sho Sangye Joda Zoge Chonam Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyapsu Che Dage Jinso Kebe Sonam Dola Benjire Sangye Dubara Sho Sangye Joda Zoge Chonam Chanjo Bardo Dane Gyapsu Che Dage Jinso Kebe Sonam Dola Benjire Sangye Dubara Sho Om Ye Dharma Heto Prabhava Hetom Te Shandata Gato Yavatat Desham Chayo Niroda Evam Vate Mahashramana Yeswa Om Ye Dharma Heto Prabhava Hetum Te Shandata Gato Yavatat Desham Jayo Niroda Evam Vate Mahashramana Yeswa Om Ye Dharma Heto Prabhavam Hetum Te Shandata Gato Yavatat Desham Chayo Niroda Evam Vate Mahashramana Yeswa. All phenomena arise from causes. The causes are the system causes is well restored by the great seer. Okay, we'll turn to page 213. Page 213, Dependent Origination and Emptiness Compilation. Compilation excerpts from sutras and treatises for meditation emptiness. As we read this, I just try to reflect on meanings and see that even after the retreats, see you can, if you really want to practice the wisdom of emptiness, then see how they are so beneficial for us. The passages that are compiled here. Gift reviewed Radha Sutra. Manjushri, whoever listens even with this doubt to this teaching on emptiness generates much greater merit than a bodhisattva who, lacking skill in means, practices the six perfections for 100,000 aeons. This being so, what need is there to say anything about a person who listens to this teaching without doubt? What need is there to say anything about a person who imparts the scripture in writing, memorizes it, and also teaches it thoroughly and extensively to others? The treasure of the One Thus Gone Sutra. Any person who possesses all these 10 great known virtues enters into the teaching of selflessness and has faith and conviction that all phenomena are from the beginning pure to existence, thus don't go to bad rebirth. Chapter on Subduing Devil Sutra. If any bhikshu realizes that all phenomena are absolutely pacified of inherent existence, and the beginning of the defilements is devoid of self-nature, and remove the guilt of having defilements and make unstable defilements dysfunctional, let alone the secondary wrongs done associated with ethics and rituals. Aradeva's 400 verses on the middle way. Those with less merit will not even have a doubt within this Dharma of ultimate reality. Should an inquiry ever arise in someone, it will shatter samsara into pieces. Acharya Dharmakirti is coming to the recognition. One is liberated through the view of emptiness. The rest of the meditations are for the sake of that. Bodhicitta Devas guided the Bodhisattva's way of life. All of these branches of practice were taught by the Buddha for the sake of wisdom. Therefore, those who wish to pacify suffering should generate this wisdom. Acharya Chandagiri is entering the middle way verse. Even as an ordinary being, when hearing about emptiness, if one experiences with an utter joy again and again, tears flowing from such a pure eyes and one's hair stands on end, one has the seed of the wisdom of full awakening. Upadhyaya Requested Sutra. The various delightful flowers blossom and so for none of this is their creator, they are posited by the power of thought. It is through conceptualization that the world is imputed. Bhikkhuni Vachiras utterance in the Fundamental Vehicle Sutra. A mind is demonic which views us to itself. You have a wrong view. Those composition aggregates are empty. There is no being in them. Just as one designates a card in dependence upon the collection of parts, so we assert the conventional sentient being in dependence upon aggregates. Venerable Shavara's writings. Searching for reality throughout space, one finds not the periphery nor the center. All perception cease completely. Likewise, through a thorough search of mind and phenomena, one finds not even an atom of essence. Since the searching mind is not found, nor seeing anything is seeing the reality. Saint Saraha's writings. By entering into emptiness, but devoid of compassion, one will not find the supreme path. By meditating upon compassion alone, one will not attain liberation but remain in samsara. One capable of grasping the unity of the two will not attain the samsara. King of Concentration Sutra. Just as in a dream of a young girl, she met with a boy and saw his death. Just as was she at a meeting and is anguish at his death, view all phenomena as thus. Are in Nagarjuna's fundamentalism, the middle way. Ceasing of karmas and afflictions is nirvana. Karmas and afflictions arise from conceptual thought. These arise from mental elaborations grasping a true existence. Elaboration ceases by into emptiness. Neither the aggregates, no different from the aggregates. Aggregates don't depend on him, nor is he dependent on them. That the Tathagata does not possess aggregates. What is the Tathagata? That which dependent originates is posited to them to be independent existence. That being dependently designated, this is a middle way. Since there is no phenomenon that is not dependently originated, therefore there is no phenomenon that is not empty. Nagarjuna's precious garland. If the person is not water, not fire, not air, not space, not also consciousness, not all of them, where is the person out of those? Just as a person is not truly existent because of being an aggregation of the six elements, each element also is not truly existent, also as they are aggregation of their own constituents. On Dharma Samgiti Sutra, forms appear as mass of form. Your feelings resemble bubbles in water, and discrimination is like a mirage. Mental formations are like plantain trees. Consciousness is like a magical show, so taught Suryamatya. Nagarjuna's commentary on the awakening mind. Those who understand this emptiness of phenomena, they also conform to the law of karma and its results. That is more amazing than amazing, that is more wondrous than wondrous. There was 400 verses on the middle way. When dependent arising is seen, ignorance does not occur. Thus, through all efforts, try to find this subject. His Holiness, the seven Dalai Lama's range our feet, a song of the four mindfulnesses, as a guide to the view of the middle way. At the crossroads of the six collections of the consciousness that have diverse perceptions, are seen the hazy dualistic phenomena which are baseless. As the magical is shown that is by nature deceptive. Don't believe them to be true, but view them as having the nature of emptiness. Don't let your mind go astray, but place it within the nature of appearance and emptiness. Through not losing mindfulness, hold it within the nature of appearance and emptiness. The sphere of appearing and existing phenomena is pervaded by the space ultimate clear light of suchness. As an ineffable ultimate reality, view this nature of emptiness through abandoned mental contrivances. Don't let your mind go astray, but place it within the ambience of reality. Through not losing mindfulness, hold it within the ambience of reality. His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama's prayer for proliferating the Dharma of the land of snows. Venerable Marbalo Sawa, Geshe, Dorji, and so on, the host of the precious Kaikyu, the source of blessings, the chairman, excellent masters of this outstanding tradition. To you all I pray. May the Buddha Dharma of the land of snows blaze forevermore. All phenomena encompassing samsara and nirvana are but the radiance of the spontaneous awareness. The awareness is self-devoid of elaborations, as realized in the nature of Dharmakaya. Pervading all existence, appearance, and samsara and nirvana is the great Mahamudra. May the Buddha Dharma of the land of the snows blaze forevermore. Aranigarjunas in praise of Dhammadadu, impermanent, suffering, and empty. The Dhamma that is unsurpassed and purify the mind is the life of intrinsic nature. Concluding prayer from Lama Tsongkhapa's Ocean of Reasoning, a commentary on Aranigarjuna's fundamental wisdom of the middle way. Throughout my official lifetimes, may always be guided by the Manjushri and be able to uphold the Dharma in general and the teachings of dependent origination in particular, even across my life. Sadhana of Shri Heruka, Shri Heruka, Shri Heruka, Shri Heruka. He is the selflessness of phenomena, the emptiness of the mind, which is the source of everything, as it is imputed to be of causal nature. Ru is the selflessness of the person, the emptiness of self that is fabricated by the web of conceptual thought that grasps by the self of person. Ka is the ultimate reality, the absence of the dissonant duality of subject and object. Shri is the non-dual exalted wisdom that abides in congruence with the emptiness of the object. That is the meaning of Evam. Okay. To continue from where we left this morning of the Bodhicitta, of the two methods. Which method are we doing? Method of equalizing and exchanging self for others to generate Bodhicitta. Okay. So what we said is that the one point that we learned is that we begin from saying that I want a maximum happiness. If you want to maximum happiness from the visible examples, we see that this happiness, which is a very profound happiness, is what the mother and the child feels. Two of them feel, particularly when the child is so vulnerable at a vulnerable age. And looking at the secret of the happiness between two of them, it was the feeling of the closeness, feeling of the affinity. And this affinity is very different, how the mother loves towards the child and how the child loves towards the mother. The mother loving towards the child is biological, and this is my child, and so forth. But how the child builds his love and affection is on seeing the mother as a source of benefit. So with this, from this, we take a clue that for us to build this infinite love and affection to all beings, the possibility is to mimic or to learn from the child. How the child develops this affection towards the mother gradually. For the mother, it's not a gradual development of the love. It is very spontaneous right from the beginning. But for the child, it's a gradual process. From zero, it becomes so intense. So this is something which we can learn because the child, from zero, how the child develops this love and affection is by seeing the mother as a great source of benefit. So if we can learn how to see the great benefit of all the beings, then our mind will automatically flow towards all the beings. This is known as unconditional love. So this is what we learned this morning. And now the point is that we, in a way, like we're trying to move from, say, the being excessively self-referentially egoistic, that I, that are more important. From there, you are now trying to learn how to get to the opposite, reverse it by cherishing others more than the self. This is a very drastic step. For this, we need the middle step. What is that middle step? Equalizing self and others. Okay, so this step is taken as the first step to move there. So now, once you reach there, then the next is how can you move from equalizing self and others to the cherishing others more? Is by always the same how this child develops. How this child develops his love gradually to make it intense, to become intense love towards the mother, is because it's a gradual development. So likewise, we continue to think of the demerits of cherishing oneself. Then the two things. As we see the demerits of cherishing oneself, then the merits of cherishing others automatically builds up. As you cherish others, if you see the benefit of cherishing others, naturally your mind will close towards benefiting others. This is one thing. You getting it? So these are all subtle nuances. Then number two is that as you see that you cherish others, seeing that self-centered attitude is my demon. If at all I have to hate somebody, I will hate this self-centered attitude. Finally, this is my real enemy. In fact, it's human psychology, and even the animals. It's an animal psychology to always look for blame. This target of the blame. Say you do something wrong, and then you blame somebody else. This is how our psyche is built up. So for that, we need the target of the blame. So the target of the blame should be the self-centered attitude, my own self-centered attitude. So if that becomes your target of the blame, in all experiences, the moment you feel pain, the moment you feel sadness, or a little agitated, unhappy, the blame should go to the self-centered attitude, not to the weather, not to the person, not to that. And of course, keep in mind that external factors, internal factors, both are involved. And the wise people will take care of the external factors, at the same time work on to get into the internal factors. This is a wise person's approach. And some people, they go to the extreme of saying that, oh, everything is mind. The Buddha said, everything is mind, everybody's good, only I'm bad. This is not a good approach. This will make you burn out, and this will make you feel so frustrated, self-hate. And nobody can hate you. Nobody can fail you. It's only you who can fail you. The moment you say that, I'm hopeless, I hate myself, this is the greatest failure. Nobody can fail you. So in fact, you are not bad. The self-centered attitude is bad. This distinction must be made. You are not bad because you can become a Buddha. You can benefit all the sentient beings. If you say that I'm hopeless, then you will not work to improve yourself. So whereas self-centered attitude, that is the demon. I want to get rid of this. You separate the two and work to get rid of the self-centered attitude, self-grasping ignorance. And as you remove these two, then the self will become divine. The self will become where the Buddha nature becomes manifest. This is who you are. So you are not bad. Never ever curse yourself. Never ever hate yourself. This is so important. But keep in mind that the blame must go to the self-centered attitude. This is so important. And therefore, another, the way by which to demarcate between ordinary person and the evolved person is that any problem happens to you, the blame goes to this self-centered attitude and self-grasping ignorance rather than the external factors. If that happens, genuinely, not exaggerating, not fabricated, genuinely the blame goes towards the self. Again, look, my self-centered attitude, self-grasping, these two are acting on me to create pain on me. If that happens, you are an evolved person. You are actually progressing along the path. You are on the path. Whereas if that is not happening, where always the blame always goes outside, well, she's responsible, he is responsible, this is better, this thing, that thing, so forth. If the blame always goes outside, whether you verbally or whether you categorically blame somebody, but inside your mind, that person responsible. This is what is happening without anything. Not for example, somebody can make mistake. Somebody can, let's say that somebody, say they broke the glass, or somebody broke the window. Don't say that, oh, it's my self-grasping ignorance. Somebody broke it. That you have to acknowledge it. But because of this, the agitation comes in you. Any agitation that comes to you, that is a result of self-grasping ignorance, self-centered attitude. Somebody broke the glass, you have to somehow tell the person. Tell the person skillfully that you've broken it, you have to fix it. Anybody can break it, but intentional break it, vandalism happens, that is a disaster. You have to call police. Whereas if accidentally, if somebody breaks the glass, yes, anything can happen like this accidentally. Say while I'm talking, I can just hit this glass and glass can fall, glass can break. These things are possible. But the point is that the same, when uneasiness comes to you, you see somebody else, being very nasty, and uneasiness comes to you, there the self-grasping, ignorance, self-centered attitude is acting in you. So this is where the blame should go to you with respect to you feeling the pain. Okay, so it doesn't mean that the other person is clean. This is not the point. It doesn't mean that the other person, other person is perfect. The person did not do anything bad. No, you should take care of the external factors. Meanwhile, the focus must be to get into the internal factors. And for your pain, for your agitation, for your irritation, for your stress, anxiety, and so forth, the blame must go to the self-centered attitude. For your pain. For the institutions, the same, the institution goes wrong. And then they say, for the institution goes wrong, and then you feel the pain. Institution goes wrong, maybe because of somebody, you have to fix it. You have to talk to the person, whatever you have to do. But the pain that you have, you feel, if the self-grasping, why should you feel the pain? If the institution goes wrong, right, you have to stand courageously for the institution, that it should be fixed. But you should not feel the agitation. Last time you remember that? Say, the tremendous love in the amongst the family members. So love is there, where the feeling of closeness is so intense, the feeling of pain is also intense. You're getting it? So I give you 3 choices. What are 3 choices? Number 1, the feeling of closeness is so strong and the pain is also so strong at the time of separation. There's one choice. Number 2 is no pain, no gain. Right? No feeling of closeness and no pain. You separate, okay, bye-bye, separate, finish. And no feeling of affinity, affection, no pain at the separation. And the third one is? Exactly. There's so much love and affection. Don't compromise the love and affection. Love and affection is so intense, so strong, but no pain. No pain. So which of the 3 you prefer? Number 3. Number 3 is so beautiful. So there, the thing is that number 3, when something goes wrong to the institution because of some person, we have to fix it. Fix it. It doesn't mean that you should have the pain. You're getting it? Without the pain, you can be very courageous and stand for the institution. That we have to do. Likewise for anything else. Anything else. Okay, there are many more in details to discuss. We cannot go into details. So there are some very beautiful practices also. Says, okay, this person done a mistake, right? At times, everything is a process. Where somebody made a mistake, and say this whole process, somebody made a mistake, and then you have to fix it. As I said earlier, if vandalism happens, then the person will go to the police. Police will come if the vandalism happens. But if you're extremely skilled, the person who is involved in vandalism, who destroys the public properties, even the person is a process, you're also a process. So the process is such that if the train is going the wrong direction, don't stop the train and just change the course of the train. Let the person change the mind in the course of the journey. because of your skillfulness. Where the person becomes somebody, instead of you sacking out the person, putting the person behind the bars. Instead of that, somehow your skillful means are there that a person gradually changes the mind and becomes somebody who takes care of the institution rather than destroying the institution. This is very possible. This is extremely powerful. For this, we require tremendous skill. Tremendous skill. And how to build this skill? These are the things that we learn from the Bodhicitta path. Okay. So we see that whenever there's the pains, the blame should go to self-centered attitude. Let's not forget it. And where, say, at times you reach a point whereby you succeed in this practice, whenever there's feeling of sadness or feeling irritation, agitation comes, you observe your mind, and instead of blame going out, spontaneously, very naturally, the blame goes to myself. Again, look, my self-centered, self-grasping ignorance. So these two are acting on me, creating, giving agitation, giving pain on me. When you feel that, when it naturally occurs to you, this is a beautiful practice. So when it naturally happens, instantly the agitation subsides. The feeling of sadness subsides, and instantly a feeling of lightness will come to you. This is very beautiful practice. Okay, this is what we have. Only if you practice it, it'll happen. It'll never happen otherwise naturally. Okay, this is with practice. If it does happen, where agitations, sadness, and the pains happen to you, and the blame naturally goes to the self-grasping and self-centered attitudes spontaneously. This is a mark of you being a good Dharma practitioner. Whereas, say you are into Dharma for 20 years, 30 years, and when something happens to you, instead of blame goes to that person, this person. If this is what is happening, still you have to practice more, you have to study more. Even if you have been meditating for the last many years, but if this blame is not turning towards a self-centered, self-grasping ignorance, then you have not been successful Dhamma practitioner, right? You should be the best judge for yourself. Okay, so this is how we need to keep in mind. So with this, the next is, what is step number 2? Out of the 9 steps, and these 9 steps should be on your fingertips. What is step number 2? Reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself. Okay, so here what we need to keep in mind is that if somebody would ask you, this morning I said, what is the Mahayana teaching? You're getting it? What is the Mahayana teaching? Looking at the demerits of oneself and cherishing others. This is the Mahayana teaching. If somebody who asks you, what is the Buddha's teaching? What's the Buddha's teaching? Remember this one verse. Commit no evils. Accumulate as great wealth of virtues as possible. Tame your mind. This is the teaching of the Buddha. Let's not forget it. This simple verse there. What is the Buddha's teaching in essence? Commit no evils. Don't do negativities. Do as many virtues as possible. Accumulate as great wealth of virtues as possible. Engage in virtues, as much virtues as possible. How to do that? Tame your mind. This is the teaching of the Buddha. So, if you look at a mind, how a mind behaves, does a mind behave stopping from negativities and engaging in virtues so abundantly? Is this what you're doing? We are doing the opposite. We are doing the opposite. So the Buddha asked us to roll the boulder uphill, and we are rolling the boulder downhill. Right? This is what we're doing. This is what we are doing. Say in the negativities, we are so expert. Right? If somebody says, what a stupid boy, what a stupid girl, right? Particularly in public. So, what's your reaction? Would you say that, oh, Venerable Sambola should have become angry? Right? And then Venerable Sambola says, of course, in public, you're being insulted. You must be angry. Okay, now I'm married in anger. Is this how your anger arises? Or how does the anger arise? Very spontaneously. You don't need any meditation. And that too high quality, intense, high quality. This is what the negativities are. So with the negativities, it is like the boulder pushed from the hill down the hill, automatically, very naturally. And what is your virtues? Emptiness. We have to first ring the bell. Then people, you are still not here, right? People are still not here. And then, dharma, still people are coming one after another. This is the virtue, right? It is like pushing boulder uphill. Pushing boulder uphill. This is the virtue. Now we have to do the reverse thing. With the negativities, it should be stopped. With the virtues, it should be like a boulder downhill, very naturally. So that should be, in other words, our habits should be reversed. Okay. So, if somebody tell you what is the essence of Buddhism, what will you say? To commit no evils, to commit no negativities, and to engage in virtues as much as possible. As simple as that. And how to do it more successfully, is by taming your mind. This is the teaching of the Buddha. Okay, so with this in mind, let's say that we talked this morning when we took the aspiration Bodhisattva vow, we said that on Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, then please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddha said, generally the mother Bodhicitta, and just as they engaged in the Bodhisattva practices, what is that? Page number 50? Page number 50? Page number 50, is it? 50. Page 50. The second to last, the last two lines. Gurus, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, please pay heed to me. Just as the previous Buddha said, generate the mind of Bodhicitta, and just as they engage in the Bodhisattva practices, likewise, I will also generate the mind of Bodhicitta, will also engage in the Bodhisattva practices. You're getting it? So what we said is that we said that I'll generate Bodhicitta and I'll engage in the Bodhisattva practices. What are the Bodhisattva practices? It refers to as 6 perfections or the 10 perfections. 6 perfections plus 4, making 10. So what are they? Number 1 is generosity. Number 2, discipline. Okay, we're talking about 6 perfections plus 4 perfections, making 10. The first set of 6 perfections. Generosity, discipline, patience, enthusiasm, generosity, discipline, patience, enthusiasm, meditative concentration, and wisdom. Okay, let me repeat it. Generosity, discipline, patience, enthusiasm, meditative concentration, and wisdom. Done? Okay. Generosity, discipline, patience, enthusiasm, meditative concentration, and wisdom. 6 plus 4. Plus 4. Plus 4. Skillfulness. Tapke, in Tibetan, tapke. Then aspirational prayers. Skillfulness, aspirational prayers. Munlam, in Tibetan, munlam. Power, in Tibetan, top. The power. And last, Geshe, primordial wisdom. Skillfulness, aspirational prayers, power, and primordial wisdom. 4. 6, primordial wisdom. Skillfulness. Okay, let me repeat it. The first 6, generosity, discipline, patience, enthusiasm, meditative concentration, and wisdom. 6 plus 4. Skillfulness, aspirational prayers, power, and primordial wisdom. Okay, so these are referred as 10 perfections, or 6 perfections plus 4 perfections. And you may be wondering, why split into 2, 6 and 4? Why? So popularly you'll find the mention of the 6. And some more sophisticated texts added the 4, making 10. And why 6 plus 4? Why not 10 directly? 6, the first 6 is primarily for your own development, to cultivate yourself. The first 6 is for your own primarily for your cultivation. Of course, it's for others, but it's primarily for your own cultivation. And then once you cultivate it, your job is to benefit others. So the next set of 4 is primarily for cultivating, help to cultivate others. The next set of 4 is primarily to help to cultivate others. Help others. Okay. So we see that all these are these 10. So I'll work on the first 6. 6 perfections. Those 6 perfections, they are related to the, say, stopping your negativities and engaging virtues. As simple as that. The essence of the Buddha's teachings. What is the essence of Buddha's teachings? Stop doing bad things and do good things. As simple as that. But to do that, it's not that easy. So you have to tame your mind. Tame your mind, finally, by seeing the emptiness. Tame your mind by seeing that. In simple terms, let's say that the 3 principal aspects of the path are indicated here. Commit no evils, the first line. Commit no evils. This pertains to renunciation. Renounce all your evils, number 1. Number 2, accumulate as great wealth of virtues as possible. Is the Bodhicitta. Practice the Bodhicitta, which embraces all the virtues. The virtues of Bodhicitta. Tame your mind. And how to materialize these 2? Do you agree with me that renunciation and bodhicitta both are aspirations? You agree with me? Number 1 is renunciation. Commit no evils. It pertains to renunciation. Accumulate as great wealth of virtues as possible. This pertains to bodhicitta. Do you agree with me that first 2, renunciation and bodhicitta, these 2 are in the form of aspirations? Do you agree with me? How is renunciation aspiration? Anybody? How is renunciation the aspiration? Raviji? Huh? What is renunciation? Anyone? Philip? Aspire to nirvana. You're getting it? Aspire to nirvana. It's the aspiration. You're getting it? Renunciation is aspire to the nirvana. Aspire to get rid of all your afflictive obscurations. Aspire to see the emptiness where all your miseries dissolve. So it's aspiration. And bodhicitta is also aspiration. Do you agree with me? What is bodhicitta? Anybody? Yes. Wish that all beings be happy and free of suffering. Is that bodhicitta? No. Okay, anyone? What is bodhicitta? Yes, here. Angela.
Someone who aspires to achieve Buddha would benefit all the Dhyamata sentient.
The one who aspires to achieve enlightenment for the benefit of all Dhyamata sentient beings. That's bodhicitta or the bodhisattva? Anyone raise hands? The lady there? Wow, that's amazing. Very precise. The primary mind which wishes to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. The primary mind, thank you for being very precise. The primary mind which wishes to become Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. Okay, this is where, if you remember the technicalities, what you say is going to be high class. What you're going to say is going to become very precise. And this you will accumulate this knowledge, very precise knowledge. You accumulate, and this is how your knowledge becomes extremely succinct and clear. Good. So do you see that even the Even this bodhicitta is also a form of aspiration, right? Primary mind which wishes, which aspires. Same. You're getting it? Again, it's aspiration. So both aspirations. Now, aspirations means that your goal is to be fulfilled. Has to be fulfilled. What makes you fulfilled? What is that? The renunciation. What is the goal? What is that aspiration? The goal to remove the afflictive obscurations. For the bodhicitta, what is the goal? To remove the afflictive and cognitive both. You're getting it? So what will remove these two defilements? Wisdom of emptiness. So the first one, commit no evils. That is renunciation. Number two, accumulate as great wealth of virtues as possible. This is bodhicitta. Tame your mind, the wisdom of emptiness. How to do that fully? How to accomplish the two goals of the true aspiration and the word renunciation, bodhicitta, is by seeing the emptiness. Tame your mind. That particularly pertains to the wisdom of emptiness. Tame your mind. So here we see the three principal aspects of the path, the three principal paths. This is a teaching of the Buddha. You're getting it? Okay. So with this, what we learn is that finally, in simple terms, the Buddha's message is remove your negativities and accumulate as much virtues. As simple as that. So now 6 perfections. You see them. The first one is generosity. Generosity is to reach out to other beings. It is virtue. Generosity. What is the discipline? To stop your negativities. Discipline is what? To stop your negativities. But then what is third? The patience. Okay. Let's say that how is your mind? Our mind is more into virtues or negativities. Negativities. Our mind is more into negative. For example, like say that you are at point B, and you have to go to point A, where His Holiness, where you're going to have the audience with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. So our train is going to us from point B to A or point B to minus A. Minus A is negativities. Plus A is virtues. Virtues, His Holiness's audience. And what? B, we go to minus A or we go to A? What is your mind? Be very honest. This is how our mind goes. Negativities is so effective. With virtue, so difficult. Right? For negativity, nobody needs somebody to ring the bell. Right? Nobody needs somebody to ring the bell, right? Ding, 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 no need. For the virtues, 2 times the bell should be rung. You're getting it? And still, virtue is not coming. Right? Whole of virtue is still empty. Okay. So, this is how our mind works. From B, it moves towards minus A, not towards B. No, not towards A. You're getting it? So, what minus A is, it'll take us to the dead end, to the fall of the precipice, fall off and we die. And A, if you go towards A, you get the audience with His Holiness. Very meritorious. But our mind goes towards the minus A. First, what should you imagine that you are in a train and your train always goes towards the minus A. What should you do first? Hey, how many been on train? Raise hands. You know the train. So tell me. You know that your train is going towards from B to minus A. Right? You know that it should go to A. So but it's so fast moving towards minus A. What should you do? Raise hands. Yes, Sadhanaji. Oh, train is so fast, right? Getting off is very dangerous. Okay, anybody else? Yes, there. Huh? Cry. Okay. Okay, here. Kyle? Okay, you have the full right to control the train driver. What will you do? Yes. Okay. The Amula is saying, stop the train. Anyone else? What will you do? Pull the chain so the train will turn. No, to stop. Is the two of them the same? To stop. Anyone else?
Change the direction.
Change the direction, right? Train and car is very different. Car you can, U-turn. Just train you can take U-turn. You're getting it? So oftentimes that trains, they are two engines. One at the top, one at the two ends. They both have the engines. Car doesn't require two engines. With one engine you can take U-turn, right? So what should we do? First, stop the train. So first, stop your train from going towards the minus A. You're getting it? Stop it. Stopping the train going to negative, the minus A is known as stopping your negativities. You're getting it? A word. Commit no evils. Stop your negativities. Okay. Once you stop the negativities, then what should you do? Then now the train will not fall off the precipice. It's fine. So what will you do? You happy now? You stop? This is not the goal. It's not the end. End is to go to A. So what do? Change the direction. Reverse the train. Right? Reverse the train. And how will you reverse the train? Reverse the train fast or slow? Fast. Right? So the train must move very fast. So when you stop the train, when the train is moving so fast and you stop it, what happens? Yes, Kyle? What is that? No. No, what is that? What is that sound? Why is this the sound telling you that I'm stopping the train now, I'm coming to hold, or why the sound came? Is it deliberately added, the sound? What is the sound? Why is this sound? Why is this screeching sound? Because of the friction. You're getting it? Because this is not the trait of the train. The train is in full swing, going to minus A. Now you're stopping it, so it resists. The train resists. Resistance is felt in the form of the screeching sound. You're getting it? So when your mind, hey, don't show anger, right? Control it. Then what happens? Resistance comes inside. Resistance comes inside. And then you say that, okay, so he said, control anger. Okay, today I spare you. Right? Inside is boiling. You're getting it? This is the resistance. So, with the resistance, if the resistance comes, what should you do? Be patient. You're getting it? Okay. The first is the generosity. The second one is discipline to stop the negativities. By stopping the negativities, it is not natural. So there's going to be resistance. When the resistance is there, be patient. Number 3, be patient. With the be patient, then what happens? Then the train slowly stops. Once the train stops, what should you do? Reverse the train. Reverse course of train. Reversing the course of train, now should going from where? To minus A to minus B? Then instead of minus A, it should go towards A. You're getting it? A. That is going towards virtue. Accumulate virtue. Accumulate what kind of virtue? Accumulate as great wealth of virtues. Do as much virtues as possible. How is that possible? So bank deposit, every day just $1, $1, $1. This accumulation of great virtues, as much dollar you deposited. So for that you have to move the train as fast as possible. As fast as possible. That is enthusiasm. Finding joy in virtue. Finding joy in virtue. Enthusiasm. You're getting it? Getting towards the virtue, but finding joy. When the virtue becomes most effective? When to find joy in it. You agree with me or not? Yes. When you find joy in doing a virtue is very effective. When you don't find joy, it's so. Okay. So finding joy in virtue. This is enthusiasm. Okay, now your mind has become extremely extremely efficient car, which does not go towards the negativities, which will go towards the virtues, but extremely effectively fast. So where will you go? What will you do? What will you employ this car for? This car is what? Your mind. Not going to virtue, not going to non-virtues, going to virtues effectively now. So this is your mind. What will you use this mind for? Anyone? Anyone? No, you know, okay, now is finished enthusiasm after this meditation concentration, right? Don't calculate this. Just tell me, speak your mind. What are you going to use this? This mind has become extremely efficient car. What will you use this mind for? Minugaji? Okay, Bodhicitta is the second. Accumulate great wealth of virtues is possible. That we have all done. Okay? Okay. Are they venerable? Awareness. Anyone else? Renunciation done. The first one. Commit no evils. Yes. How? How? Anyone? Hey, what's your job? Yes, Tam said partially correct. Okay, Abhishek ji. Okay, what is the job? Tell me. So day one you come here, what job had we confirmed? Yes. What? First, what is your aspiration? Fearlessness and infinite happiness. How is that going to happen? Yes. Oh. To awaken this Buddha nature. How to awaken this Buddha nature? Remove the true obscuration. You're getting it. This is your job. You're getting it. You have the aspirations, and to fulfill these aspirations, you don't have to do anything new. The Buddhahood, fearlessness, infinite happiness, already within you. It is mixed with the mud. What should we do? Remove the mud, and the gold will become manifest. So this is your job. Remove the mud. How will you remove the mud? How will you remove the mud? How will you remove the mental mud? Yes. Ishila. Cultivate the wisdom. Cultivate the wisdom. You're getting it? Cultivate the wisdom. Okay. So for this wisdom should have two qualities. One is that this wisdom is like the light. This light should be extremely bright, extremely sharp, extremely bright. And this light should be very steady. You're getting it? For example, you like to read this book, and this power cup is already 12 midnight. There's no light there. So what do? You light a candle, let's say. You light a candle, introduce a light. If this light is so feeble, it does not serve the purpose for you to read the books. You're getting it? Light must be very bright. Even if the light is very bright from the corner of your room, there's a wind blowing, then light is very flickery. Again, it doesn't serve the purpose. What do we need? Hey, what do we need? We need the steadiness of the light. The light must be very bright and the light must be very steady. So these two qualities must be cultivated. This light is none other than your own mind. This wisdom. The mind manifesting the form of the wisdom must be, number one, very bright. Very bright, this is very sharp. The wisdom must be very sharp. And the wisdom must be very steady. Right? So these qualities must be cultivated separately. So the steadiness of the wisdom, for this to build this quality, we need a meditative concentration, which is number 5. To build the steadiness of the wisdom, we require the perfection number 5, meditative concentration. To build the sharpness of the wisdom, we need the perfection number 6, the wisdom. So these are 6 perfections. You're getting it? Okay. So now, related to the method of equalizing the exchange of self for others, how many steps we finished thus far? How many steps we finished thus far? 2, 3, 2. We finished. We did not do the 2. You're getting it? I'm glad that you are saying number 3, so we can jump to number 4 directly. So we can finish everything today. Okay, we are yet to finish even number 2. We did not begin the number 2. What is number 2? Reflect on the demerits of cherishing oneself. Okay, so these 6 perfections will make you grow to remove mental defilements, and grow towards your fearlessness, infinite happiness. And what stops you from the 6 perfections, that is evil. You're getting it? That is your enemy. If you are doing a PhD program and somebody hampers you from your studies, anybody who hampers your progress in the PhD program, that person is your enemy. You're getting it? Anybody who hampers you from getting closer towards fearlessness and infinite happiness, that is your enemy. What is that? What is that thing that hampers you from getting closer towards infinite happiness and fearlessness? Self-centered attitude. So therefore, self-centered attitude is extremely, the vicious, that if at all you want to hate somebody, you should hate the self-centered attitude, because this is one which stops you from going towards your 2 goals. Right? Okay. The first, let's say the generosity. Generosity, that's one which connects you to all the beings. Being generous, you become friends. Right? It helps you connect with the beings. To become Buddha, you should connect with all the beings. You should think of all the sentient beings. So what stops you from generosity is the selfishness. The more selfish you are, the less you will connect yourself genuinely to other people. So the selfishness stops you from generosity. And the selfishness stops you from practicing the discipline. Discipline is what? Stopping from the negativities. Stopping the train from going towards the minus A, right? Stopping the negativities. So what stops you from what stops you from engaging in the negativities is, what stops you from not engaging in the negativities is selfishness. Again, so selfishness makes us to go into the negativities, all the non-virtuous actions, all because of the selfishness. Then the patience. You lose patience. What makes you lose patience? Selfishness or other cherishing? Selfishness is the one. Losing patience. Right? Okay. And then the no enthusiasm towards virtue. What is the enthusiasm? What is required? What's the opposite of enthusiasm? Laziness. What makes you lazy? Selfishness or other cherishing mind? Right? If you cherish others and then you become more lazy? No, you cherish the mothers. They are never lazy. Right? When the mother is by herself, without the children, when the children all go to school, the mother may be a little lazy. With the children, this is what I've seen. This is amazing. The mother's love. How it makes the mother also very active. One time, it so happened that I bumped into the house to make a request. And the lady was there. And she was eating very simple food. Very simple food for her lunch. I said, what is this? She said, this is my lunch. How come? And she said that when I'm with my children, I cook for my children. When I'm by myself, I don't feel like cooking anything. This is the mother's love. This is mother's love. You getting it? Okay. So if the enthusiasm Enthusiasm, opposite of that is laziness. And what makes you lazy? What makes us lazy? Not only you, including me. What makes us lazy? Morning, right? Okay, morning, 5 o'clock, ding, ding, right? Oh, it must be 5 o'clock. Okay, there's still one hour. So I'll get up at 4:45 what? Huh? 4:45 or 6:50? And some people are very precise, 5:50, and put the timer on 5:50, right? And then 5:50, it rings, ding. What is the alarm clock? Beep, 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 right? And then I still have 5 minutes. Again, you put it off and put 5 minutes, right? Okay. So this is what makes you do like that. Why not? We get up at 5 o'clock. It rings the bell. It rings. Hit the gong. You get up. Why not? Why not laziness? Why laziness? Self-centered attitude. You're getting it? So look, laziness is also self-centered attitude. And a meditation, right? Hey, 5 minutes meditation. 5 minutes, not 5 hours. 5 minutes meditation. Hey, right? 5 minutes meditation. And the wisdom of emptiness, right? Wisdom of emptiness. Wisdom of emptiness is even more hopeless. Even emptiness comes as positive. Even emptiness is also an objective real. Everything is objective real, right? It's all related to the self-centered attitude. Self-centered attitude is so evil. Say the wise people, for example, let's say, I'll give you some example. Okay. So imagine that let's say that you have a boss. You have a boss, and then your immediate boss seems so harsh on you, rude to you, and then the main boss, the boss of the boss, whenever he or she sees you, right, says, "Hi, how are you doing? Are you okay?" And during the break time, okay, let's go for a cup of tea together. And your immediate boss, the morning, the first thing the boss says, look at the watch. What is this? You're late, right? Being so harsh, being so rude. And whereas the main boss, whenever he or she sees you, how are you doing? Are you okay? You don't seem to be happy today. What happened? Are you okay? Don't take it too seriously. Okay, would you be happy with your boss or the main boss? Main boss. And one day, accidentally, you happen to go past by your main boss, his office, and you overhear a conversation going there. That is, your boss is saying, "Yes, sir, yes, sir," and your main boss is scolding your boss. Let's say say you are Philip, right? And your main boss is scolding your boss. You have been so lenient on Philip. And they see you, right? You say your name is Mr. A or Miss A. You've been so lenient on Miss A. Mr. A. You should be more tough, right? And then what will happen to you? You will be shocked. Oh, my boss has been so unkind to me. Not because of the boss himself, because of my main boss, who pretends to be so nice in front of me, but actually he's the one who is actually making my boss being so cruel to me. Next time you see the CEO, would you be happy or not happy? Very unhappy. You're getting it? So, same, when you feel the pain, when you feel angry, or when something goes wrong, what happens? Then self-centered attitude comes to you as to like it gives you so much energy, right? How dare this person just like this? The self-centered attitude makes you become so angry, right? Actually, the self-centered attitude is the one which is destroying you. This is a mastermind who is destroying you in every aspect. So a wise person will not see the immediate boss, will see that it is the CEO who is being cruel to me. If I somehow can fix this CEO, then my boss will be very kind. I know that he's very kind. Why he's being rude to me is because of the CEO. You're getting it? Because of this CEO, which is self-centered attitude. Because of this, all this negativity is coming to being. So if at all I should be angry towards somebody, I should be angry towards self-centered attitude. So this is what we should be doing. And how to get into the self-centered attitude? Cherish others. Cherishing others is how you get into the self-centered attitude. Weaken the self-centered attitude. Okay. So with this, we think about the 6 perfections. How we fail to engage in 6 perfections is because of the self-centered attitude. And failing to engage in 6 perfections, you will never grow in the path towards ultimate happiness. In other words, your ultimate happiness is hampered by self-centered attitude. This is how we have to think about it. Okay, so this is one part. Then the second part is about the immediate results of the 6 perfections. Immediate results, 6 perfections. Generosity, immediate result is wealth. We all want the wealth. But what stops us from having the wealth is because of stinginess. And stinginess because of this self-centered attitude. Let's not forget it. And then the discipline, immediate benefit is long life, favorable human birth, and so forth. We all want that. Why that's not happening is because of lack of discipline. Why lack of discipline? Because of the self-centered attitude. And again, the what's next? Patience. Patience, the result is radiance in you, radiance, natural radiance. For example, I remember my teacher, so in crowd, when you see him from in distance, in a crowd, you see him extremely outstandingly beautiful, outstandingly radiant. And I thought that this is my bias. This is my bias. Because that he is my teacher, I respect him so much, so therefore in crowd, I may be seeing as something as very, they're radiant. Then later my friends tell me the same thing. That who's that teacher? He looks very, very radiant, something very different. Then I realize it's not my biases, it is actually the radiance there. So we all need this, we all want this, to have the radiance in your appearance. And this radiance is possible with the practice of the patience. The more you practice patience in this life, and the result in this life, you will have, the Buddha taught that with the practice of patience, your blood will be purified. With the purification of blood, even the glow will happen to you, the radiance will happen. Okay, and in the future lifetimes, the stark contrast, some people, just as small children, when they grow, they have such radiance there. Some people, there's no radiance. So the radiance is the result of the practice of the patience. What is next? Enthusiasm. With the enthusiasm, the result is, the immediate result, the main primary result is going to Buddhahood. But the immediate result within samsara, enthusiasm, the result is elegance. Elegance, the richness. So some people, they may not have the radiance, but the moment you see them, you cannot say no to this person, right? So, can you do this? You have to say yes. Even though you don't want to do it, you have to say yes. His Holiness is extreme, has this quality, right? His Holiness says something, can you do this? Everybody say, yes, sir. Yeah. This is the richness. This is elegance. There's great elegance there with His Holiness. Yeah. Okay. And how many of you want this elegance? Say you go in public, you go to meet anybody else, right? Somebody says, no, this will not happen, this will not happen. And then the person takes your help. You go there and say, can you please do this? Looks at you. Okay, yeah, it's okay. All right. Do you want this, or you want to? You want to suffer? No. What? What do you want? You want the elegance. Everybody wants the elegance, the richness in your look. Why? Richness of what? Richness of your virtue. When your virtue is when you're so rich in virtue, this is reflected in your appearance. So, the appearance of elegance, appearance of richness. Okay, then what is next? Meditative concentration. With the meditative concentration, the immediate benefit is the peace of your mind. Say your mind is agitated and you meditate, at least single point meditation, you do that, your mind calms down. What is next? Wisdom of emptiness, wisdom. So this wisdom will liberate you from samsara completely. You want to be liberated or not liberated? Liberated. We want to be liberated. So this liberation happens with the wisdom of emptiness. But what stops us from practicing wisdom? Self-centered attitude. We'll say, oh, Geshe, yeah, this course is so beautiful. Right? This course is so beautiful. This course is even more beautiful. But I have no time. Right? I wish this course is 2 months, which is 4 years. I wish this course is 2 months. And if I say, okay, we'll do it in 2 months, again the person will disappear. Will say, okay, sorry, I meant to come, I signed up, but the last minute something happened. Right? This is where the self-centered somehow is looking for excuses. Somehow looking for excuses. Right? Okay. So self-centered attitude stops us from embracing the virtue, embracing the wisdom. Without the wisdom, there's no way how to exit, how to get out of samsara. And samsara is what? Full of tears, so small children, how much they cried, small children. And the parents, how much they cried. But the children, they're not doing. Sometimes when I hear these stories of how the children, they create problems to their parents, I cannot tolerate. I cannot stand it. When I hear, for example, recently when I saw this, somebody sent me this WhatsApp clip in America. I told you, the mother took the mobile. So the child is just glued to the mobile. So the mother, out of love, out of concern, to the mobile, the child destroyed everything. The sink, the television, the cupboard, the refrigerator, everything was broken. And the mother was crying. This is the thank you gift from the child. Oh, when I see this, then I can't really tolerate. Mentally, I feel so disturbed. So when I hear a child, not a child, somebody who is already 30, 40s, still, leaning against the parents. And the parents have to support financially. And the parents are already resigned, they're already retired. They have to survive on their savings. And the little saving that they have, the children they are extracting. Okay, so we fine, extract money from the parents, that's fine. But always fight with the parents, physically abuse the parents, verbal abuse the parents. When I see this, it's so, I can't tolerate it. In fact, the people who still have their parents, you're extremely fortunate. Very fortunate. One day you will regret, a day will come, that the person on whom you lean, that is gone. And you will see the whole world. The world is not like that. The world expects you to work. If you don't work, who cares? Get out. Your parents are the one who embrace you. Even though you don't work, you abuse them, still they embrace you. You'll regret. And the next life, in the process, you accumulate so much of negative karma. And this negative karma consequences are so severe. Let's not forget it. Negative karma, you will be boiled alive in the cauldron because of torturing your parents. Just imagine like a fish put in the boiling oil. This is what is happening, will happen to us if we torture our parents. Okay, this is what we should be really very careful to make sure that at least in this life, While the parents are there, you have somebody to be called as my mom, my dad. You're very fortunate. For example, for me, I'm very honest. If some people, they even fight. Who's going to take care of my parents? Me or my brother or my sister? This is how people are fighting. And some people, like me, are craving to have the mother, father, to say that so that I can serve you. I will take the opportunity to serve my parents. And brother and sister, you please stay behind me. Please give the opportunity to me. And some others, they are pushing others. Go. It's your turn now. I've done too much. You will regret. You'll regret. Right? Somebody who embraced you with so much love. When you age 1, when you age 2, when nobody knows you. Nobody knows you. You even don't know how to talk. You even don't know what is the body language of love and affection. And the mother talks to you, although you cannot understand anything, but the mother talks to you, smiles at you, and spends a whole lot of time for you, resources on you. And then when you grow more independent, then you shelter the mother, you abuse your mother, you abuse your father. It's so sad. Okay. So think of the consequences. We should be very careful. The consequences are heavy. You have to pay the price for that. Right? Whereas if you're being kind towards your parents, unlike you being kind towards somebody else, unknown person, comparing that with rendering the same service and help to your parents, the merit accumulation is going to be 1,000,000 times more. Again, it's a great opportunity for you. Instead of taking that as, just think of how much love that you received from the parents. Just go for this. Automatically, it will make you to let your mind flow with love and affection towards the parents. Yes?
Can you talk about abusive parents, please?
Okay, so they are, as I said earlier, I did mention this to you earlier, particularly I would say, I don't deny the existence of some cases. Out of 100%, out of 100 parents, or let's say 100 mothers, 1 out of 100 can be abusive, out of 100. And particularly you, each one of us, when you were aged 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, if you received abuse from your parents, that is 1 out of 100. If I'm not too presumptuous, it can be 1 out of 1,000. But minimum, it can be 1, I would say, yes, 1 out of 100. The 99 mothers out of 100, they are so loving and caring. And if you are somebody who is being abused by the mother when you were age 2, 3, 4, I don't call it abuse when it happens after, what you call as abuse after 16, 17, right? That I don't call as abuse. If the abuse happens when you were aged 4, 5, 6, 7, that I take it as abuse. If there's real abuse, sometimes the parents may slap you. That is not abuse. That's not abuse. One time slapping in life, what did you do? Think of that. So out of let's say 10 years into 365 days, one slap means 9 years, 11 months into 365 has been caring for you. You're getting it? Whereas after this, it can be your complication. You age 15, 16, 17, then you become complicated. You're looking for your privacy, right? Before that, if that happens, I sympathize you. I empathize with you. If you are somebody who unfortunately got the abusive parents at the age of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? If you have no complaint till age 12, 13, then it's not a problem, it's not the issue of the parents. So sometimes those of us who have these issues, they are usually after 16, after 15 in some cases. In some cases, the active people, they are after 14. If you're very active, it's after 14, right? Active, you understand what is active means? Right? So till that point, if you have no issue, which means the parents, they have done their job to nurture you with love and affection. Now, don't expect love and affection from parents anymore. It's your job to give back, repay the kindness that you received from the parents. But if you're abused, if you did face this abuse when you were age 4, 5, 6, 7, I fully empathize with you. You are not to be blamed. And even your parents, to be very honest, they are not to be blamed. They must have gone through a very difficult childhood themselves, because of which they don't know how to take care of the children. You're getting it? Particularly, I'm talking about the mothers. The father is a different story. With the mothers, if there's a problem, it's usually after 16. You're 14, 15, 16. Rare cases 14. Otherwise, usually after 16, the problem happens. That is a different story. You're getting it? Okay. So this is how we have to reflect on. In other words, think of the larger picture, not with one story. Think of the larger picture. Larger picture, the parents so loving. Just to be very honest, when you were age 5, 6, 7, your mother took the maximum and gave the maximum love and affection to you. Raise hands. Raise hands. Yes, most of us. Look at that. And if you are in this category where the mother failed to do that when you were age 4, 5, 6, 7, then I'm very sorry. I really empathize with you. And this is 1 out of 100. And for you, you can still practice Bodhicitta. You can still practice Bodhicitta. And later on, you'll be surprised to see that, wow, that's amazing. Bodhicitta practice is amazing. I can't imagine that I can get over this, say, the irritation, thing of my abusive parents. But now I can see that I feel compassion towards them rather than irritation through the practice of Bodhicitta. You can overcome that. Not only overcome that, you can be one of the most successful people who can overcome this and to feel the love and affection. With the irritation, are you happy or not? Not happy. With the forgiveness, with the feeling of love and affection, are you happy or not? You're very happy. So this wise person, simply because of some issue, why should you torture yourself? Why should you make yourself irritated? It's a self-torture. Instead of that, if you met with some abusive person, then why should you torture yourself? The person tortured you, but why should you torture yourself? Think of it over and over and ruminate over this over and over again to make yourself unhappy all the time, right? To remain always unforgiving. In the meanwhile, you suffer terribly mentally. This mental irritation, it consumes your immunity. It consumes your immune system. When your immune system goes down, your health goes down. And no matter how much you say they save money for your health and so forth, you are on the other side destroying your health because destroying immunity because of building up the irritation. Okay, these are the wise approach how the wise people engage in. Okay, good. So from this, what we learn is that even from the point of view of the mundane benefits, like say the generosity, wealth, the discipline, the long life, the favorable burden, so forth, the patience, the radiance, enthusiasm, the elegance and richness, and meditation samadhi, the peace of mind, and the wisdom of emptiness, liberation from all the miseries. So think of the mundane benefits of these. And then think of the long-term benefits. Because of these 6 practices, you go towards the infinite happiness. So this is all hampered by the self-centered attitude. The more you think of these things, the more you will feel angry towards the self-centered attitude. The more you feel angry towards the self-centered attitude, you take the other cherished mind as a safe haven for you, as your security, as your safety. You embrace others. For example, say that if there's somebody who's coming to abuse you and your dad, your mama are there, what will you do? You turn towards your parents so that they can save you, rescue you. So you will turn towards the other cherished mind to rescue you from the self-centered attitude. So rescue you means that you voluntarily cherish others more. The more you cherish others, the self-centered attitude will be weakened. The more it weakened, the self-centered attitude weakened, what happens? That you go closer towards your goal of fearlessness and infinite happiness. See, this is how it works. Okay, good. So the point is, just try to reflect on these points as many times as possible. If possible, on a daily basis, practice these steps, follow these steps, and try to see the demerits of cherishing oneself. Okay, what's next? Number 3, cherishing what? Reflecting on the benefits of cherishing others. Okay, now reverse. Reflect on the demerits of cherishing oneself with the 6 perfections. You reverse that. Instead of the stinginess, you think about the generosity. Generosity is because of the other cherishing. With the generosity, you get the wealth, and you are able to reach out to other beings. So this is just reverse all the 6 practices which we taught about related to the reflecting on the merits of cherishing oneself. Reverse it when reflecting on the merits of cherishing others. So reverse it. So how do you do that? For the stinginess, opposite is generosity. So what's the immediate benefit? Wealth. So what do you want is wealth. Wealth is possible because of generosity, and generosity is possible because of the other cherishing. You're getting it? Okay, think of a triangle. Think of this triangle. The triangle. One is the obvious result, and the immediate cost of the result, and the long-term cost of the result. A triangle. Say, all the good things somehow will come down to the cause as this other cherishing mind as the cause. All the bad things, it will boil down to the self-centered attitude. Let's say stinginess. What's the result of stinginess? Poverty. How many you want poverty? No one. Okay, what is stinginess? Hey? French? Huh? What language do you speak? French. Is there anybody? Good. Okay. Avarice. Good. Okay. So let's say that result in the form of poverty we don't want. The poverty is the result of stinginess. A stinginess because of the self-centered attitude. Again, look. So triangle. So say the poverty, result of stinginess. Stinginess because of self-centered attitude. And then, for example, say what's the opposite of the discipline? Indiscipline. Indiscipline, the result is short life, unfavorable burden, and so forth. This result we don't want. That's the result of indiscipline. Indiscipline because of the self-centered attitude. What is next? What is next? Patience. What is the opposite of patience? What is the impatience? Right? Impatience. And what is the result of impatience? Lack of radiance. Nobody wants lack of radiance. Everybody wants radiance, right? So every morning we go, you look nice, Okay, so we want some radiance. So this radiance, lack of radiance, is because of is impatience. And impatience because of the self-centered attitude. Again, the triangle. So where the immediate causes are different, but the long-term causes remains boiled down the same, self-centered attitude. And what is next? Enthusiasm. Opposite of enthusiasm is laziness. And the laziness is no elegance. Right? Laziness is no elegance, no richness. We don't want this, the lack of elegance. Lack of elegance is because of the laziness. And laziness because of the self-centered attitude. Again, self-centered attitude. So this is how we have to relate to the self-centered. This is reflecting on the demerits of self-centered attitude. Then the reverse. Generosity, the result is wealth. We want the wealth. Wealth, if you want wealth, what is the immediate cause? Generosity. What's the immediate cause of generosity? Other cherishing mind. So this is how we relate to all the 6 perfections. Boiling down to the other cherishing mind, other cherishing mind, other cherishing mind. The more we think of this, then your sense of respecting, your sense of valuing the other cherishing mind will keep increasing. Your sense of feeling aversion to the self-centered attitude will keep increasing. And then because of which, when unhappiness comes to you, irritation comes to you, pains comes in you, the blame instantly goes towards this self-centered attitude. And when you think about other cherished mind, it gives you such a joy, dear. When you feel joy, do you feel burnout? What's the burnout? Burnout is when you feel fatigue. What is the opposite of joy? Fatigue. You're getting it? So with the joy, fatigue disappears. Burnout is no more there. So this is how we have to practice it. So reflecting on the demerits of cherishing oneself, number 2. And number 3, reflect on the benefits of cherishing others. Okay, what is number 4? Taking the suffering of others with emphasis on compassion. Okay, if somebody were to ask you, what is compassion? What is loving kindness? Is there anybody? What is compassion? What is loving kindness? Anyone? Yes.
Compassion is the wish for that others to be free from suffering, and loving kindness is the wish for them to have happiness.
Very good. Okay, so oftentimes many of the young Tibetans, right? It doesn't mean that all Tibetans, the Tibetan young boys in here, the boys and girls who come here, you have interest. Oftentimes, this is what happens. Tibetan young boys and girls, when they come for the job interview in Tibet House, they will say that the interviewers, they are mostly Indians, very educated Indians, with good knowledge of Dharma, right? With good knowledge of Dharma. And when they see Tibetan young boys and girls come for the interview, they are very happy because they see them as like, so these are the people who brought this, the people with His Holiness as the leader, who brought these treasures for us, Buddha Dhamma, precious Buddha Dhamma for us. So these are the young boys and girls. They're so happy. The Indian boy, the Indian, the professors who were conducting the interviews, they are so happy to see the young boys and girls. And they would say that His Holiness, He's amazing. His knowledge of Dharma, His compassion, everything's amazing. These people, they are His Holiness's, His Holiness's what? Disciples. They must have minimum 50%, right? So they expect, right? They say that, okay, we know this much of Dharma. They must be knowing way more than that. So they ask, what is the relation between emptiness, dependent origin? No clue what is emptiness, dependent origination, right? Right? Okay, then they would ask the question, similar ones. What are the Four Noble Truths? Conventional truth, right? Conventional truth, ultimate truth, and then finish, right? This is not Four Noble Truths. This is the true truths, right? Bring the true truths and then finish. Because there's no third for truth. So Four Noble Truths, they finish, two truths, right? Then they could start. Okay, now the expectation, the interviewers, educated Indians, the expectation dropped. Okay, now, what is compassion? Right? It dropped to what is compassion? Compassion is kindness. What is kindness? Compassion. And say, are you interested in Buddhism? I'm so interested in Buddhism. I'm so interested in Buddhism. And why do you apply to Tibet House? Why not in other places? Because Tibet House, this is where we can learn our culture. Our culture. I'm so interested in your culture, in my culture. And how long have you been in Delhi? I've been in Delhi the last 6 years. How many times you came to Tibet House? Not even once. This is interest, right? Okay. So this is what I'm saying. But why did I say this? Okay, what's the difference between compassion and the loving kindness? So what is compassion? It's kindness. What's kindness? It's compassion. This is too naive. You're getting it? They are all well standardized. Their definition is so well standardized. You cannot naively say compassion is bodhicitta. Bodhicitta is compassion. Compassion is, everything is just like, what is that word? Okay. Okay. So how Thosamling said, this is perfect. What is compassion? It's so well defined. There's a well defined meaning there. Compassion is a feeling of love, feeling of affection, which wishes others to be freed of suffering. You're getting it? Feeling of love, the mental factor of love. To make it very precise, mental factor of love, mental factor of affection, which wishes others to be freed of suffering. What is loving kindness? It's again a feeling of, is a mental factor of love or mental factor of affection, which wishes others to have happiness. So both fall under the same family of love and affection. But this love and affection, when it sees the suffering nature, it manifests in the form of compassion. When it sees the happiness nature, it manifests in the form of loving kindness. May you have happiness and causes of happiness. That becomes loving kindness. May you be free from suffering. That becomes compassion. You're getting it? Okay. Yes.
Is compassion also includes the action, or is it just wishing?
Okay. So the point is that, so this is what we have to study more. First, whatever definition is set, don't try to go beyond that. Stay there. And then if you have more thoughts, all these thoughts will be addressed. Compassion, does it involve action also? All these things will come later. How many steps are there? For this 9 steps are there. And we are doing which step now? We're doing the number 4. So still we have number 5, 6, 7, 8 there. Still yet there. Let us come to the end. And then if you have more questions, you ask me. Yes.
So we saw compassion and loving kindness. And where does mudita fit in this?
Okay, what is mudita? Huh? What is mudita in English?
Friendliness.
Huh?
Friendliness.
Okay, what is mudita in English? Anyone? Huh? Huh? Sympathetic joy. Okay. Is there anybody who can Google search very quickly? Google search very quickly. Mudita. Huh? Quickly do it. Quickly Google search and let me know. Huh? Immeasurable joy. Perfect. Okay. So, sympathetic joy. Okay, Rachel said sympathetic joy, and the Shelley said? Shelley, right? What did you say?
Immeasurable.
No, what did you say? Immeasurable joy. Okay, it's just a matter of translation. Both are correct. You getting it? Both are correct. The point is that 4 immeasurables. The first one is immeasurable loving kindness. Number 2, immeasurable compassion. So, loving kindness, compassion already done. Number 3 is immeasurable joy. That is the mudita. You getting it? And then number 4 is immeasurable equanimity. The 4. So what are the differences? So in the mornings, if you pay attention to the instructions, you will see difference very clearly. The first one, immeasurable loving kindness, is which the mental factor of love and affection, which wishes others to have happiness. Then the immeasurable compassion is the mental factor of love and affection, which wishes others to be freed from suffering. Number 3, immeasurable joy, mudita. Immeasurable joy, this is the mental factor of affection, mental factor of love and affection, which wishes others not to be separated from the happiness they are already endowed with. Let me repeat it. Mudita is a mental factor of love and affection, which wishes others not to be separated from the happiness that they are already endowed with. Okay, some people, they are confused between the first and the third. Immeasurable joy and immeasurable loving kindness and immeasurable joy. These two are very similar. In the first case, immeasurable loving kindness is where you are deprived of happiness. You don't have happiness, and then the other person wishes that may you have happiness. That is when you don't have happiness. Whereas the third one, the other person can see that you have happiness. For example, okay, so let's say a mother and the child. A mother and a child. Say, the child gets sick today. So the mother is so concerned, right? May you be freed from the sickness. What is this? May you be freed from sickness. What is this? Compassion. And then also that may you have good health. What is this? Loving kindness. May you be freed from sickness. This is compassion. May you have good health. This is loving kindness. And then the next day, that child is so well, recovered. Mother happy, not happy. And then the third day, again, the child becomes sick. What happens? Yesterday you are so happy, and today again he goes back. May you be free from suffering, right? And then the fourth day, again the child recovers. So mother is happy like this, or what will the mother wish? Minovaji? Yeah, the child is healthy on the fourth day, the second day, fourth day. So what will the mother wish? There's always fluctuation happening. So what will the mother wish? Stability. You're getting it? So may the happiness that you have be stable. May you never be separated from the happiness that you already have. May you have the happiness stably. That is the same. When you see the child recover, the mother is happy or not happy? Hey, when the mother sees the child recover, the mother is joyful or not joyful? Joyful. You're getting it? Mother is joyful. So now the mother wants to continue the joy or not continue the joy. Tomorrow you should get sick, so that after tomorrow I'll be very happy. Or tomorrow you should have a stable happiness. So the mother would be very happy if the child continues to be healthy. So may you never be separated from the happiness that you are already endowed with. This is the finding joy. This is the mudita. Next is equanimity. Again the same thing. Mental factor of love and affection, which wishes the child, which wishes others to be freed from the biased attitude. Biases. So usually, how the people, they complicate. What kind of complications are there? They hate somebody, they love somebody. There's always a bias there. This bias, particularly when the small children, when they see the bias in the elders, it's acutely painful. It's acutely painful. And the elders, they experience, right? Somebody's biased. This is the human nature, human psychology. But small children, they cannot understand it. Okay. So the biases is the one which actually makes the being suffer. Your bias, you suffer. Because the bias, you suffer. Because you bias, say you are being unkind towards person A, you're being kind towards person B. So person A will not be happy with you. When you see somebody not liking you, somebody backbiting you, you're not happy. What made you unhappy? Because of biases. So, seeing that beings suffer because of their biases, you pray, you wish that you be freed from the biases. That is equanimity, immeasurable equanimity. And equanimity, there are so many, the understandings are there. Equanimity with respect to your mind, with respect to others' mind. There are different ways. May I not have the biases. May you not have the biases. Both are equanimities. You getting it? Okay, good. What's next? Number 4 and 5 yet to be finished. Number 4 is taking the suffering of others with emphasis on compassion. Number 5, giving your happiness to others with Emphasis on loving kindness. Okay, 4, 5. These two are known as the practice of Tonglen. Practice of Tonglen. And the 4 is the Len. Len means take. Taking the suffering of others. And the 5 is Tong. Tong is to give away. This is a Tibetan word. Tong is give away. Give your happiness to others. Tonglen. And oftentimes, when you go through difficulties, some people, they advise you to practice Tonglen. Practice Tonglen. And in fact, this is good advice, provided you are advised to include the first 3 steps. If you don't include the first 3 steps, Tonglen practice can make your problems worse. Right? Because you already have a problem. You say you go through depression. You go through depression, and then somebody says, hey, no, you have to practice Tonglen. And you practice Tonglen, depression can become worse. Right? Because you're already suffering, and you take suffering from others, and you don't find joy, and then you become more depressed. So this is an issue with many people. It's not just what I'm speculating. What I've met with many people who go through these problems. So therefore, if somebody advises you to practice Tonglen when you go through difficult times, keep in mind to include the first 3 steps. If you include the first 3 steps, you will never feel burnout. Your depression will not go bad. Instead, you can come out of the depression if you include the first 3 steps. Why? With the first 3 steps, it tells you the demerits of cherishing oneself. It tells you the benefit of cherishing others. So you cherish others, you find joy. There's a benefit there. When you think, what is the feeling like in you when you feel that I get a benefit? Joyful or sad? Joyful. When joyful, the fatigue disappears. Joyful, tiredness disappears. You're getting it? Okay. So we'll go through this Tonglen practice in more detail tomorrow. Okay, we stop here. Deata Om Gate Gate Bharagate Parasam Gate Bodhiswatyadam Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyadam Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyadam Om Gate Gate Paragate Parasamgate Bodhiswatyadam